Hello and welcome back to Logan Rando Aquascaping. My name is Logan and today I'm going to show you guys how to trim a planted aquarium. Today we're using my ADA 45P as an example, and I really love this tank. It's been set up for almost a complete year and it prominently features stem plants. It has Rotala HRA and Rotala green. Scattered all around the tank in the foreground and the midground are also some Hygrophila Pinnatifida. Finally, in the very foreground, we have some Eleocharis Acicularis mini that's a little bit overgrown with BBA. This tutorial will primarily focus on trimming stem plants, but a lot of these techniques are going to work for other plants in the hobby as well. A lot of beginners are really intimidated by trimming, but really it's just a matter of getting confident with it, learning how to use the tools, and then doing it as often as you can. So let's get started. So as you can see, this tank is quite overgrown. It is a tank that I trim weekly. However, I haven't done a big trim in a long time, so we're going to rectify that today. And what do you say we start over here on the right side? Typically when I'm working with stem plants, I like to get a rough idea of my end result by shaping things out a little bit. So I'm starting in the back and just kind of carving out the shape that I hope to be a little bit closer to the end result. And this isn't a perfect science. Some people prefer to start in the front, some people prefer to start in the middle, others in the back. It's really up to your own preference. Just get a rough idea of the general shape you want your stems to be in and carve that out as best you can with a really good pair of aquascaping scissors. Today I'm using my UNS curved scissors that Boost Plant sent me a few months ago, and these things are really awesome. They've got good leverage, they've got a really nice angle that'll help you get in all sorts of nooks and crannies, and they're just really nice to work with. So as you can see, I'm sort of working my way all around the right side of this tank. I'm finding little spots that are overgrown, and I'm simply chopping it off. Trimming Rotala brings out increased coloration and vibrance, and it also promotes that also desired bushy, compact growth. So we're doing some good work today. Once I'm happy with the right hill, it's time to move over to the left hill. And honestly, I'm sort of just repeating the same process that I did on the right side. I'm generally carving things out to acquire the shape that I want the end result to resemble. And then I'm sort of going all over the place and finding those stems that sort of poke out and look out of place. Once you have things really, really close, I often spend another 10 to 20 minutes just kind of getting into what I call Edward Scissorhands, where there's really no rhyme, reason, or method to what you're doing. You're just kind of in that flow state and you're chip chopping and you're finding those little strands that are too long and you're finding the odd stem here and there that doesn't belong, taking a step back here and there, and you're just kind of shaping things the way that Edward Scissorhands would shape a hedge. And trimming rotalas that are shaped into hills is sort of like working with hedges. You can really shape and mold them into whatever kind of form you desire, and this allows you to do really cool things from a compositional point of view. I'm not doing anything crazy today with these hills, just sort of bringing out some of their definition a little bit more, but you can see it makes a really big difference. And anytime I trim, I always make sure to take care of all of the plants in the tank. Now, even though Hygrophila Pinnatifida is an epiphytic plant, you can actually treat it like a stem plant and just completely hack it down indiscriminately. I learned this from my good friend Yuri's. You do not have to be shy. You can sort of go into Edward Scissorhands mode, chop it down, and it'll come back bushier, more compact, with more of that lateral growth, because I find that really leggy vertical growth just isn't too appealing, especially for this type of scape. And then finally, I'm moving over to the foreground and I'm addressing that Eleocharis Acicularis mini that's just a little bit overgrown with BBA. Now, I tend to always struggle with BBA in my tanks. I feel like once you have it in one, you have it in all of your tanks, but it's pretty much under control in this tank, except over here on the Eleocharis. Now, you will see it on some of the hardscape, but I'll address that in a future maintenance sessions. So today I'm just hacking this Eleocharis down. When a plant is absolutely infested with algae, a lot of the times it's better out than in, and that's what we're doing today. We're just kind of hacking it down, and hopefully the new growth will come in a lot cleaner. So after that, it's time to scoop out all those trimmings, which can feel like a tedious process, but I recommend putting on some good music, maybe sipping on some coffee or tea, listening to a podcast, and just enjoying it. This doesn't have to be a chore, it doesn't have to be tedious. tedious, this could just be your time to get into that Zen state. And that's what I find myself doing when I'm doing this type of work. I'm in that Zen state, I'm catching up on YouTube, I'm sort of reflecting on the week, and it turns it into a really enjoyable process. So depending on the energy levels of your tank, and by that I mean how high is the lighting, how high are you running CO2, how much FIRTs are you dosing, your tank could bounce back in as little as 5 days or just a couple weeks. And I find that with this tank, with the high lighting, high CO2, and good FIRTs that I use, it'll be looking great in about 5 days, which is perfect because I'm having a big Halloween party at my apartment and I want the tank to look nice and vibrant. So if you're having some company over, go ahead and do your trimming a week or two before your company arrives so that the tank is really in its prime when people are around and you want to show off the tank. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this little trimming tutorial. It was a really relaxing and fun process for me. If you have any questions about trimming specific plants, let me know down below in the comments. I've kept all sorts of species over the years and I'd love to help you out. So thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys and gals next time.